I knew they were thinking that every night was full of, like sex toys and leather and whips, and not that those couldn't be fun, but
well, that's a every day for me. I mean,
but it's that perception that wait, you don't know me if you think this is what is going on. And that's the hardest part, is finding people. You just, to some degree, have to say, who cares? Who cares what you think? And you start to find people who don't judge you for what you do.
At the end of the day, it's no one else's business but your own.
Right.
Hi, so I'm the president of the LGBT club at my high school, and I was wondering if you guys had any advice for how that I could take back to help other kids at my high school who are LGBT and don't have accepting parents or friends or whatever.
I mentioned this on the mental health panel yesterday, and I think your mental health and your sexuality are obviously very tied together. Just remind people that your mental health and your life is your number one priority, and that if they have to distance themselves from people because they are not healthy for them, then they have to do that. You have to take care of yourself. At the end of the day, you are the most important person.
And the older you get, the more intelligent people get about topics like this, and the less they care. I mean, not the less they care, the less they feel like it affects them. I have plenty of hetero cis friends who, when I came out, I thought that I would never date again and that I would lose half of my friends. And none of that is true. None of it is. And so just be yourself, because that's the most interesting thing about you, is that you are yourself.
Another thing is that other people go through their coming out process as well. So not just the gay or lesbian or bisexual, etc. teen in high school, but their parents and their friends are also going through a process. And I've certainly seen people over the years where, in college days, where a classmate who was also brought up in a very religious environment, beaten with a Bible and told she was going to run in hell, with parents who totally disowned her. But over 4 years of undergrad, there was a progression over time, and the parents had their own evolution in coming to terms and in finding community and other parents and talking about those struggles. So it's not just the person that you're dealing with who's part of your club, but also bear in mind that, I don't know if there's faculty or whoever you're dealing with at your school, or the parents of your classmates, that we sometimes have to understand that other people, it may take them time to evolve. So you might be hitting a brick wall at one moment, but understand that maybe the next season, another year, whatever, change of faculty, things might change.
Let me just play off that real quick, because that's what saved my relationship with my parents, is that it took me 10 years to come out, so I in turn gave them 10 years for them to adjust to it. That saved our relationship. So that's a big process, and you have to tell kids that. It can't be overnight, because most people, it doesn't happen overnight. It took me a long time.
Yeah, and as hard as it is, patience is a virtue that we don't all have, but we all need, especially when bringing this to light and getting that measure of acceptance.
But don't stay in the closet because you're afraid that it shouldn't happen overnight either. There was, I don't think she's here today, but somebody that I knew online messaged me after I came out last year, and she says, my children, she has 2 children, both came out to me as trans, and this has almost been a year ago, and she's like, I don't know what to do, but I need to make sure I do the right thing for them. So there are people and there are parents that do not need that 10 years, and so don't hide yourself in a closet.
Okay, lightning round. One last question.
As content creators and content lovers, you guys have seen a lot of LGBT characters. There is a fine line between an LGBT character who is a gay character and one who is a LGBT character who just happens to be gay. What is your preference to characters like that, and why? You are not defined by one thing in your life. You're not defined by your sexuality. You're not defined by your mental health. Every person is complex, so your character should be just as complex in your media.
I think when I put out the first Surge of Power movie, I wasn't putting out a gay superhero movie. I was putting out a superhero comedy that spoofs the superhero genre that happens to have a lead character that's gay. Because, that same sort of the tokenism that you mentioned, I didn't want a token or a trope. Because I think there's something more authentic about that, because there's much wider landscape to someone than just that one aspect of their character.
I lay the foundation for a character. I don't really think about their sexuality going into it, and if they just happen to evolve to like women or men or anything in between, just that way.
All right, everyone, that wraps it up. Thank you so much for coming. This is our awesome panel.